Hey guys, this is third part series. In this series, we are going to consume the API that we have created in our previous project. So we'll create Xamarin Forms application and then consume that same API. So let's keep it name as Xamarin account app, as we are creating an account application, and then select Android as well as iOS. Here we are going to select .NET Standard project for our whole application. Here we are going to set main page as our navigation page because we are going to set more navigation functionality in our fourth part series of this project. As we have already created our simple API, our next objective is to consume those APIs, and in order to make this tutorial simple, I am just representing the given API data in the form of list, and in our later part of our tutorial, we will be consuming those API in order to create login page along with other functionalities. Now inside our list view, we'll add property as uneven rows is equals to true because we don't want our labels inside our view cell to overlap. That's why we'll give label text binding username, as it's like a receiver which will receive all this data from the code behind, that is our mainpage.xaml.cs. So we'll introduce another field as binding field as password, and then line break mode as no wrap. Now our code behind, that is mainpage.xaml.cs, does not know anything about the binding context that is defined inside our view, that is our mainpage.xaml. So we'll create a model class same as like before. We'll create an account class which will have same properties that we have defined inside our model class of web API project. We'll copy that and then we'll paste over here. So this view is our receiver which contains username as well as password, and then which will receive all its content from this class, that is our code behind of mainpage.xaml. So whenever this page gets appeared, before going to our view part, that is our mainpage.xaml, it will pass through this condition, that is on appearing method. This response content will get all the contents from the given API. So for that we need to create an HTTP request, that is private read only HTTP client, and then we are going to create new HTTP client where this client will get all the strings asynchronously by passing the URL. That is, from the given URL we are going to get all the response back to our given API in the form of string. So our URL should contain our API. That's why we have to go back and then copy our API and then paste it over here. Now we have to call that API and then store in the form of strings, that is our response content. That's all. In my Xamarin Forms advanced project, that is from tutorial number 9 to tutorial number 11, we have created list view without using the MVVM approach. You can go through that and then again return back to this tutorial. Now the response that we have got from the given API is in serialized format. That's why we need to deserialize it. That's why we are going to install newtonsoft.json inside our whole project, excluding that web API project. Let's ignore this error. Now inside our mainpage.xaml.cs, now we are going to inherit from newtonsoft.json. Here you have to understand is like my list will contain the deserialized objects from the given response, that is our response content. Now we'll be creating one account variable which will collect all the contents from my list, that is my list. So we need to create an observable collection of account, and then we'll be calling that account over here, and then this account will be used as an item source. That means we'll be giving name for the given list view as item list view, and then this item list view will be calling item source directly, so we don't need this binding item source from here. So let's go to code behind of main page. Then item source is equals to the account that we have created as a observable collection of my list. That's all. Now base.onAppearing is like when you call onAppearing method, then we'll be calling base.onAppearing method. That's all. We are going to create HTTP request. That's why we need to disable ATS from our given iOS application. So edit it with XAML editor and then add this method in order to completely disable ATS from our given iOS application. That's all. Now inside our main page.xaml, the binding username should be same as that of account class that we have created inside our models folder. That's all. Now let's run our project. In our next tutorial, we are going to add employee username as well as password from Xamarin Forms application and then updating the APIs whenever username as well as password is created.